Joseph's going to be here. Can we cut out that last half an hour and just put something else in there tomorrow so it doesn't replay? I don't want people hearing our mistakes like that. I certainly don't want to replay it.
I don't know how to do that because it's being sent down to them and they're recording it.
Heath knows how to do it. Hello, this is the mayor of the airwaves. Hello, this is the mayor of the airwaves. How are you? Another beautiful day in paradise. And we're broadcasting from Studio A here in Vero Beach, Florida. Look at my copious notes here. Let's see. Gator Gulp. 2 South Carolina men face animal cruelty charges after they forced an alligator to drink beer.
I don't know how to do that. They're recording.
You're on the air, Mr. B. Your mic is hot. Thank you.
No, it's not.
Yep, I could hear you coming through the headset, Mr. B. I promise you, okay? All right, so 2 South Carolina men face animal cruelty charges after they forced an alligator to drink beer. They could be sentenced to 1 year in jail, 2 years if it was Coors Light. That's supposed to be funny. I pay for that, actually. Okay? Okay. What is the legal drinking age for alligators in South Carolina? I don't know. These two rednecks were giving beer to an alligator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, not good, right? How are you, Joseph?
Great, Mr. Mayor of the Airways. How are you?
An elderly couple had just learned how to send text messages on their mobile phones. Okay? The wife... Joseph just returned from the kitchen.
Pretzels and peanut butter.
Yeah, the peanut butter in the center of the little pretzels, the little squares. Yes.
They're good.
Okay. So when you're eating on air, you at least should move the microphone away from your... Anyway. Oh my God. God help me. Please, please, please make a way where there is no way of escape. An elderly couple had just learned. Oh, please, God. What? I know that, I haven't been perfect and... I know,
Your punishment is me on Thursdays.
Oh my God. No, it's all of you. It's everybody. It's
all
it's
of
this
you.
town. It's everything. There must be a way of escape. Isn't there somebody out there who you need a tax write-off and you could just I could start a 501.c or whatever those things are called.
501c.
And I could just, and you could look at this. If you look at maybe somebody out there listens to the show because they hate me. That does happen, And if you'd like me to go away, I'm for sale. You could have the show. You can buy it. Take it. I don't want it anymore.
Give me a break.
Just want to go to Martha's Vineyard and play my ukulele. That's all I want to do. Oops. I just want to play my ukulele,
It's not a ukulele.
Just want to play my ukulele, play it all day long. I'm happiest when I'm sitting back writing a ukulele song. Anyway, so can I tell this joke, please?
I have said
nothing. Stop
nothing.
eating on the air.
I've said nothing.
I hope your sister's
Let me get
listening
another
to
one.
this.
Let me get another one.
Because your sister
out of
hears
my
me do a
pocket.
lot wrong. Now maybe they said, Joseph, they're going to reprimand you when you get home. Dad,
Sure.
I can see little Joseph going.
She's in New Mexico listening to you.
Dad. Oh, we got a call the other day from San Francisco. So we have people in New Mexico listening. We have people in
California. New Jersey.
Yeah.
My brother listens in New Jersey.
Yeah. So that's one person we have listening in New Jersey.
Actually, I met somebody at, where was it? It was at a Republican function, and she lives in New Jersey, and she listens to your show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah. It's amazing. How many people put up with this amateur hour we have here? Maybe is there any sort of a maybe there's a quizzical attraction to the fact that we are painting over the boundaries.
It adds
and the
character.
borders.
I think it has
An elderly couple had just learned how to send text messages on their mobile phones. The wife was a romantic type and the husband was more of a no-nonsense guy. One afternoon, the wife went out to meet a friend for coffee. She decided to send her husband a romantic text message, and she wrote, "If you are sleeping, send me your dreams. If you are laughing, send me your smile. If you are eating, send me a bite. If you are drinking, send me a sip. If you are crying, send me your tears. I love you." The husband texted back to her, "Please, I'm on the toilet. Please advise." That was Mr. B. Mr. B has been after me for a week to read that over there. So I think that, Mr. B, I think content we should leave up to others.
I think you should watch out
What?
for those type of corny jokes, and a warning to the husbands out there about what you text back to your wife. It should always be a loving message. And with that, I like to point to watch and warnings, and Mr. B has also wanted that to be broadcasted to help out our listeners.
Yes, watch, because the hurricane watch. You have anything to say about this, Mr. B? Because I have no idea. What watch and warning?
Yeah,
What?
I'm always confused about this when I'm listening to my storm radio at the house. What's the difference of a watch versus a warning? And when you hear a tornado watch, that means that conditions are favorable for severe weather, and it can last for hours, and it covers a large area. And be aware and monitor for warnings. Now, a warning is like, that's red alert, red alert, red alert. That means there's severe weather is occurring and or is imminent, and it's about 30 to 60 minutes for a warning, and it covers a small area. And that means you have to take action. When you have a warning, that's when you run to the bathroom, surrounded by plumbing pipes, take cover, get a mattress, throw it over you, or put the kids in the bathtub, throw a mattress over you. And let me ask Mr. B too. Hey, Mr. B, on a safety standpoint, you have young children in your home. Should you put them in the bathtub if there's a warning?
Okay, those were tornado warnings and tornado watches. We're not into that anymore. We're into hurricane watches and warnings.
Then why did you put this thing about tornadoes on my desk?
Because they could happen during hurricanes.
It's not just tornadoes. We have hurricane watches and we have hurricane warnings.
Oh.
And they're set over weather radios, which I recommend all your listeners
Hey, look.
I love him.
in the house. The weather radio will give you a warning or a watch. And also there's the Emergency Operations Center has a website that you can subscribe to their alert. And you get alerts
okay.
from the EOC, Emergency Operations Center, for people here in
All
Vero
right.
Beach, and we live here all
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yep.
I think it's helpful.
What I want to know is on the front cover of the newspaper today.
Sure.
We have, let's see, they wait in line for another beer sample. James Moulton checks off another card Wednesday during a public beer tasting hosted by the American Icon Brewery in Vero Beach. So anyway, they got all this beer tasting on the front cover of the paper, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now we have a film festival. It's not really a film festival. It's a wine tasting festival under the guise of a film festival because these wine companies want to. Haven't you heard about it? There's some
Yeah,
sort of
yeah, I've heard it,
and it's
yeah.
all about. It's all brought to you by why the wine companies are paying for this. So it's all really to promote wines, alcohol.
Yeah.
Look it. This
It's
is a fact.
still a film
no,
festival.
No, it's the baloney. Listen.
They're
so
bringing
anyway,
in
so
Hollywood
we're promoting.
celebrities.
They're not bringing who? Burt Reynolds?
Well,
They have to bring him in on a stretcher.
Well, what about? He's my fraternity brother. He's a Pike. But what about the ones that have produced and directed Lala?
Oh my God, Lala!
that
Yeah,
a
did you
horrible
see
movie?
it?
No.
Oh, Lala,
I don't
Lala! That was all a big payoff too. That was money in Hollywood.
Was that a horrible show?
I've heard nothing good about it.
Really?
Yeah,
Good.
but there's a whole political thing. Jack Nicholson said that there's a whole political thing that goes on that you have to play in order to win the Academy, the award, the Oscar that year. Oh, it's reckless. It's
My buddy was a
horrible.
member of the Academy.
What do you have to say?
He said that they spend a lot of money on marketing.
Oh.
I was at his house in L.A. and he's now passed away. But they sent they send the movies to your home and
Yeah,
for
for
free
review,
viewership.
yeah.
Yeah, but then they send these these nice invitations to go to all these parties, and then they promote those people for the Academy,
Yeah.
and it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And one year he handed me the ballot. He goes,
Yeah.
"You want to vote on the movies?" And I said, I think that would be kind of cool, but I don't really have the right to vote. You're in this. I'm not. I don't know anything about it. So I helped go over some of them with him and selected them. But there's like 3,000 or 4,000 members that vote on this, and you just you need 51%. So that's it. That's how they roll.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so there's all these beer places are opening in Vero.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when did everybody get so thirsty for beer? Do you like beer? I don't.
No, I don't like to drink.
Okay. So, no, neither do I. Not anymore. That's for sure. So anyway, so you got a wine festival where they also play some films, where the excuse is the films to get together and test wines, and the wine companies are putting up the dough so they can sell wines. Okay, so it's commerce, but it's about wines, really. And then you've got this this
You
beer.
really think that's that I don't know enough about it.
First of all, it's like going to a restaurant, and I warn people about this who have
Okay.
restaurants. Come on in now. Buy 2 entrees and get a free bottle of wine. I don't want wine. I don't drink. We don't drink. So
See, I
you're
don't see
cutting
that.
off. And you know what? There's a lot of people like you. I know more people that don't drink than I do that do drink.
Yeah.
Okay? So you got this little select group, And
I don't ever
and
see
then on
those
top of that, you
promotion.
take responsibility. The grandma and grandpa drink that whole bottle of wine, and they hit a tree that night. Guess who's responsible now with the new laws?
The restaurateur.
It's just like if you shoot somebody, the gun manufacturer's to blame, not the person behind the gun.
No, that didn't
That's
pass.
stupid.
That was a Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders thing. That never passed, so that's not law.
But we're promoting, and nobody wants somebody drinking and driving. Now they're promoting all these beer places and all. I mean, the front page of the Press Journal today.
You bring up a really valid point, and one of the things you could ask like Eric's Flowers or Sheriff Darrell Lord, they would know a lot more. I mean, you have somebody going out and they drink. Can that .08, which is the legal limit in the state of Florida, does that vary quite a bit from person to person? So if an 80-pound woman drinks one beer, will she blow a .08 within that hour versus a 200 or 160-pound male? Because there is a formula to drinking and size and everything else. But I would just be curious on the breathalyzer aspect.
I'm more scared today. I don't want people drinking. They used to say 1 in 20 motors coming your way are under the influence of alcohol. Now we have something worse. At least a drunk tries to compensate. Well, it's this texting. I mean, I'm watching it all the time.
Yeah.
Now. Go to a red light and young ladies texting, and then they wobble down the street. I
No,
go
it's
by a
very
truck,
true.
they're wobbling, and I go,
It's very true.
Recently we had this car went into a truck, and the people were killed.
Yeah. No, you bring up a great point. I mean, I think back in the day, they were trying to do stuff like this over radio. Because
What
people
stuff?
ban driving while turning their knobs to a radio. Because it was the same problem as the text messaging today. People were looking down at their radio. And that's why car insurance was designed with higher rates for those who smoke and of the listening age of rock music, because if you're 18, up to 35 years old, and you would be leaning down, changing the station more, and smoking a cigarette. And between those two things, you had a higher risk of car accidents.
I wonder if I could get a ukulele to sound like a rock guitar.
Do they make them?
Hey, baby, won't you come with me? Hey, baby, won't you set me free?
Do they make
That
them?
actually wasn't bad. That's the first time I heard a ukulele. Actually,
Sounds
it almost
closer to a
sounded like
guitar.
it almost sounded like the Rolling Stones, didn't it? Move over, Keith Richard.
Yeah.
You don't understand. You're not a musician, but that actually amazed me that actually could. If
You
we-
amazed yourself.
No.
I'm amazed with my amazement of how well I played that.
I want to thank you for thanking me for thanking them for thanking you.
Yes, I do that all the time.
So anyway, all these beer places that are opening up, I don't know. And notice in the picture, it's all young people.
Oh, that's the end thing right now.
Yeah, it is. Why, I wonder? They're catching up. We were into this up in Killington, Vermont a few years ago when I still was drinking. And they had all these, they have these trails up there, and they name all these beers after the trails.
Yeah.
And you go and you do your hiking, and then you go and you indulge in beer and stew.
I like the stew.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the stew too.
Yeah, see, now,
Ain't
to
nothing
me,
like
you
the
had
good-
me at stew.
Yeah.
I could leave the beer. I remember we took the kids to, I don't remember where, Colombia or Costa Rica or somewhere. Anyway, we did a hike, and then we ended eating some stew. And it was just so exciting. I'm a foodie, so.
Do you realize how boring the show is to someone to listen? You go, I don't want to hear about your stew. Margaret, change the channel.
Seriously. I mean,
You know? What's the problem there today? What is the problem? Okay,
so for those of you who believe Donald Trump's going to get impeached,
oh
he's,
my word.
he's not. Just remember,
I'm not a crook.
yeah, I'm not a crook.
And look at
I'm
Hillary.
not a crook.
She is the worst loser I've ever seen in my life. Even this is yesterday. She has speaking engagement, commencements. She's talking down Trump.
She's bitter. She's bitter. She expected to be anointed, and she's flabbergasted.
And she knows she'll never be president now. It's over.
And here's the whole push. They would like Donald Trump to be removed because of infiltration from the Russians. They're going to find that none of that happened, number one. And number two, the impeachment's not going to happen because there's a Republican majority, and they're not going to pull the 2/3 votes to impeach him, unlike her husband, who was impeached under the Gingrich.
Yeah, but how come we got to stay in office?
Because they didn't vote to remove.
So what does that mean? So Bill Clinton was impeached.
Yeah, he
Okay,
was
what
impeached. They just
You get a
didn't
slap
push
in
to
the
remove.
hands?
Yeah, they just didn't push to remove him.
So it's a historical fact he was
Yeah.
impeached.
Yes.
Well, there's no consequence.
No, there is a consequence
What's
that
the
he was in
consequence?
fact impeached, but
What's the consequence?
the greater consequence is when you removal from office. Normally, like when you look at a Nixon resigned from office because of Watergate.
Yeah.
But
Do you think he made a mistake doing that?
yeah, he should have stuck it out.
Really?
He should have. Well, you look at often what happens. When it goes through the whole process, people are livid. It was a different time back then, but people are livid, but they have forgiving mentalities. If you ask for the forgiveness, most will provide it. Now, when you have people far to the left or far to the right, both.
I mean, the
of them
Nixon
are not
could have come
gonna-
forward and said, "Look, I hired these guys. They went in there and did that. I did not approve of this, but I did hire them, so it's under my responsibility. So I'm asking the American people, would you please forgive me? Can we move forward?"
Yeah, can we
You know?
focus at the
I think
issues
I've
that
done.
are?
And by the way, not to sound egotistical, but didn't I do a pretty good job in China? Am I doing some good stuff internationally?
Right.
Okay, so let's move forward.
Yeah,
Be a man. Take
Right.
control of the team.
yeah.
All right, this is the coach. I showed up drunk last week. I know. They could hang me. They could tongue-fetter me. All right, will you forgive me, kids? Give me one more chance. I show up drunk again, it's all over forever.
Right.
But right now, let's get back on path here. Yeah, what do you say, kids? Will you forgive me? Yeah, coach. We love you, coach.
Yeah.
People forgive. I tell you what, if that's why Marcus, whatever his name is there, Marcus?
Marco Rubio?
Yeah, Marco Rubio. He will never be president now. It's because he did that thing with the hands. He had one window, and I called his local friend, John, in town, and I said, tell him. But John doesn't listen. John didn't listen to me. So I'm a marketing guy. I know what the heck I'm talking about. Go check out my past and see how many millions of dollars
I
worth of
think the
C-rate
reason
votes
one
I
of the
sold.
reason I think one of the reasons why he didn't win
I know
also was
marketing.
a career politician.
Listen,
The perception
who?
was he was
Marco?
Oh my God.
Okay, no. Marco had me. I was going to vote. I loved him. I went up here to JI. I saw him speak. I saw him speak at the prayer breakfast. Okay, so I've been right there in the room with him a couple times. I love this story. I mean, I was in row 3, man. I'm right there, looking at the guy in the eye, and he tells the story about his dad.
Yep.
Used to work the back of
Bartender,
the room as a
yeah.
bartender, so I could work the front of the room. I thought it was good. And then when he pulls that thing, first of all, and he was not good on his feet. He's not quick on his feet. He doesn't have the mental prowess. He doesn't have it. He just doesn't have it. It's over. If he had taken that one window, I tell you, as a marketing guy, tell me, folks, do you agree with me? That one window, okay, here's what happened. We know what Marcos said about the little hands and all this crap. Oh, my word. He would not have won the primary. Ever, never. It was already done. Okay. So he calls a press conference. The whole world would have showed up. They think he's going to drop out. He's going to drop out. He's having a press conference. They all would have shown up, just like a little hungry
And
piranha.
apologize over the little hands.
Then what he does is he says, listen, I want to apologize to Donald Trump and I want to apologize to the American people. I hired somebody, I took their advice, and I repeated that. It doesn't come from my heart. I'm not that kind of person. So can we move forward? Will you please forgive me? And no, I'm not bowing out. He still would not have won the primary. But he would have saved himself because we love to forgive.
But on the
It's
flip
too
side
late.
of that,
He doesn't have it. I'm going to have a press conference today. Who's going to show up? I don't care.
I
I'm
don't
going to show up to his press conference.
It's
over.
I disagree in that.
You disagree what?
I disagree in that. Just because he made the comment about the hands, people have a very short-term memory, very short term, and they are.
All I
forgiven.
have to do if I'm running against Marco Rubio is play that video again. And you want that man in the White House, folks? It's just like Dan Quayle. I've never ever thought that I should be in office. I was just at the White House, remember, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm White House material. I really don't, And some people said I wasn't college material. They're probably right about that. So I'm not White House material. I know that. But when I met Dan Quayle, I said, except for a $500 million inheritance, there go I. I really do believe this. And if it sounds arrogant, I should have been the vice president rather than Dan Quayle. Sorry.
Boy.
Look at the stupid stuff he said.
Yeah.
You think that sounds arrogant. I'm trying to make the point. And George W. said,
No, I think people
read my lips.
I
Look
think,
who I picked for vice president. That says a lot.
No, I think that people make mistakes. I really do. And I think just because he misspelled potato and just because he made other silly comments.
He made so many stupid remarks.
I know that. But I don't think that makes him stupid. I mean, if you look.
Yeah,
if you look at...
Republicans understand the importance of bondage between a mother and child. Well, let's see. How about this? Mars is essentially in the same orbit. Welcome to President Bush, Mrs. Bush, and my fellow astronauts. One word sums up probably the responsibility of any vice president. That one word is to be prepared. I mean, that's just dumb, What a waste it is to lose one's mind or not to have a mind is being very wasteful. How true that is. Republicans understand the importance of bondage between a mother and a child. And it goes on. Oh, I mean, it gets more embarrassing.
Well...
All right, I got to take a break.
Okay.
We need a break.
Got to pay this for this.
We deserve a break today.
I'm having a problem with my cell phone.
Why do I hear this ad for this alarm company? It seems like every ad break starts out with this ad. Is Shane putting this together? I don't think he's showing the enthusiasm we need for this anymore because every time we go into break, it's the same ad.